I'm a big believer that you need drastic change to beget drastic change. This has driven so many of the decisions that have brought me to where I am now. A woman who has really found her footing in purpose and also in self. And the drastic change right now is leaving Instagram. I have been here since 2012. Maybe that's 13 some odd years. And in that time, I have found so much of my voice. I found so much of an audience that doesn't just serve as like fans of mine, but chooses to be students. I have found so much of the circle of individuals that I have always wanted, folks who are wise, who are caring, who are knowledgeable. That being said, I am not an influencer. I never set out to be an influencer. I never designed my life around being somebody on an app making videos. That's somehow what happened. And in that, though, I have found my next path and my next phase of being an educator. Thankfully, I have the tools of being a comedian, being a multi-hyphenate artist, thus making me an artistic intellectual. In my time here at Instagram, I found so much beauty and so much shade. This was also a place of great toxicity because the app is built to exist like that. It is made to be a cesspool of, do you mind? An enclave of egregious excoriation where people simply find holes and pockets and comment sections to live out their fantasies of just meanness and nastiness. A place where people can divert the loneliness, the anger, the frustration, the powerlessness, and the insecurity that they feel every day at strangers without consequence. The thing about it, though, is that there is a consequence. It becomes the rhythm of our society. And particularly for those whose rhythm is to beat to their own drum, it becomes an impediment in our ability to simply exist as liberated souls. That is what they want for all of us. And in order for us to dismantle that and to disrupt that and to destabilize that, we must disengage from that. Instagram and Meta, like many others, have aligned with a regime that seeks to build on that for the world. And so, as I divested from Hollywood after it shamed me for being Black for Palestine, after I pivoted from traditional Black media and the Democrats after they thought to discredit me for literally being somebody that holds them accountable and seeks to find ways for them to continue to move in progressive directions, it seems only natural that I would no longer want to be in a place that is committed to calling DEI a discrimination against white folks. What are we talking about? And that is also decided that the facts are irrelevant and that so is the safety of its users in using a platform where they will not be ridiculed and harassed by those who seek nothing other than to create a place of antagonism and xenophobia. No, that is not a place for me. And I hope for much longer it won't be a place for you. So it is time to pivot. You can find me on Blue Sky, on YouTube, and on Twitch. And no, these places are not impervious to critique. However, this place can no longer be somewhere where I am giving free content as well as a space to be diminished for living as a free spirit. It's been real. We've had some fun times sitting on these hoes. I be knowing it's early. Denim on denim on denim. Denim on denim on denim. I got time today. Blocked. I got time today. And blessed. You got the wrong one. Hey! You got the wrong one. Come on, choir! You got the wrong one. Bitch. You got the wrong one. Don't leave people personal messages on their Instagram. If you have their phone number, just text them. Just text them. If you treat me like shit in real life, don't try to hug me at a party, 'cause I won't hug you back, bitch. Go fuck yourself. You're just not on my level. Got me. Ooh, you got me like that. Not today. Not the one. It's the end of an era. However, we must expand. We must elevate. We must. And I, as somebody who is not going through a midlife crisis, but a midlife awakening, can tell you that in order to do that, you cannot stay in the same places where you have been. You cannot remain in the same soil that you have used all of the nutrients out of. You must shift. You cannot remain in stasis. I am not going to deactivate my page. There is so much content here that is information-based, that is spiritual-based, that is hilarious-based. It would be like closing a library. There's also a beautiful, magical demonstration through video of an actual person who has grown and evolved to, as my mother would say, reach where you're going. May you commit yourselves not to political activism, but to cultural shift. I hope to see you on these other platforms where I will continue my work as an artistic intellectual using entertainment to educate. Edutainment. Watch Views from Amandaland Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday live on YouTube, Amanda Seales TV. And Small Doses Podcast, which is now in its 7th year, is going independent and will be and continue to be a resource for insightful, intellectual, and hilarical conversations with truth tellers, with the goal, starting this year, of expanding our consciousness intentionally to a global one. Please subscribe to my Patreon and help to support me in creating this work. Please follow me again on Blue Sky and Twitch, and follow my newsletter so that you can continue to see when I'll be dropping new pieces of art, pins, etc. at my store, Amandaland Exports, and when I will be doing work in a city or a town near you. I am no longer doing ticketed shows. I seek only to do shows that are free, where I am being supported by the funding that they are receiving. This is the new path, and I'm so happy to have you all joining me on this new path. When Reach Media and Radio 1 canceled my radio show, they said that affiliates were not interested in buying it to play for their listeners because I was too polarizing and not consistently funny. They're right. These are polarizing times where we need to know how to stand on business, where we need to define code and know the past and the present to really shape the future. And it's not going to be a funny time doing that all the time. Nonetheless, I will always do my best to find the funny in the fraudulence. One thing though, before I go, in 2024, I took part in an interview that for many people was my first introduction to them. For me, it was a space that I went into thinking this is a time and an opportunity for once and for all where I can actually show people who I am. It turned out not to be that at all. It turned out actually to be an incredibly hostile space. So much so that when I said that on camera, they actually cut it out of the interview. Therefore, I hope that you all will come to Patreon to check out the interview that I needed to do, the interview that I deserved to do, the interview that shows you who I really am. And that will be premiering before the end of this month. And I hope you'll come to my space that I've created and curated of conscious, compassionate, culturally competent people to take part and to check it out and to show love and support. Consider becoming a member of the SEAL Squad. No, that's not really our thing. I implore you to remain curious, conscious, and to find, maintain, and sustain community. For it's what we're going to need for this next phase of our time in this realm. It's been real. Remember, we are each other's business. When we look out for each other, we lift each other up. Ba-dum-bum.